Hey, Hound Dogs, I'm David Hankins.
I'm Paul Hankins.
I'm Trevor Hankins.
And you're on the air with Power Squared. Today we're going to talk about something that we did not like hearing. That PlayStation is no longer, as of 2028, going to put out physical games.
Yeah, they will not. They will no longer be manufacturing physical PlayStation discs. They say they will re-wave games that came out before 2028, but there it is.
Which sort of means you'll no longer own your game.
Yeah.
You'll be sort of long-term renting it until they decide to take it away.
Yeah. It also came off the heels of Rockstar announcing that Grand Theft Auto 6 will not have a physical version where you get a full game on a disc.
And the other thing with, I guess, digital is they took back like all these Studio Canal titles.
Yeah, they removed like hundreds.
Yeah, over 500.
Over 500 Studio Canal titles from people's accounts.
Which is a sign you don't own them. You think you own them, but you actually don't.
It's like the movies were taken down from the store, were going to be taken down from the store because of licensing stuff. But they also removed the movies from people's accounts, even though they bought them, and there was no refund.
Right.
Oops.
So we're not happy with PlayStation.
No.
So, unless you guys are more the gamers.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've been with PlayStation since the PS2 era. I will say when it was PS2, 360 was the hot thing.
Right.
So towards the end of the PS2 life cycle, but a little before the PS3.
Right.
Yes.
But we still have gotten a lot of mileage out of the PS2, and then
in high school, the PS3 was our console of choice.
Yeah, and that turned out to be a good choice when PlayStation ramped up their offerings and made themselves a better service at the time, and then we stuck with PlayStation with PS4 because we were going to do it anyway. But then with the whole Xbox One announcement where you have to constantly sign to the internet, and what's a secondhand market?
Yeah.
And then PlayStation was like, hey, you can share physical games with other people. So then that loyalty carried us over to the PS5. But even after we've gone multi-plat, we still primarily do PlayStation. But then with the PS5, that will probably be, if the PS6 is indeed going to be all digital, then we'll just skip that.
Yeah, you can't share anything anymore.
Yeah, because a benefit of being a console gamer was that we also play some PC, but primarily console. The benefit of being a console gamer is that you could own your game physically.
Right.
And
you don't have to be on the internet to play it either.
Right. At least for over 90% of the titles, you don't.
Okay.
Yes.
But now you'd have to be on the internet.
It depends on the game.
But I mean, with everything's digital,
yeah.
Will you actually have it on your player, or will you store it on your player, or will it be
you would probably, for most games, still be able to have them installed, but you'll definitely no longer have any actual real ownership over it, and it can be revoked from you at any time. Look at the Studio Canal thing.
Right.
And one reason for the Stop Killing Games movement is because there were games like The Crew where you could buy it physically, or people would buy it, and then the server shut down. Oops, you can't play it.
Okay.
So there was no ability for someone to actually continue playing with the game that they paid for, even after server operations ceased.
Also, it was like with The Crew, there was a redemption code that was for years, expired years from now.
Yeah.
Which I forgot the exact year, but that implied that they were planning to keep that active, keep
the servers.
Yeah, keep the servers going until then. They were planning to. The word I was looking for was support. It implied they were planning to support it until then, but the game shut down before that time.
Right.
So that's what spurred Stop Killing Games.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So
that could easily be a whole other thing, so we won't spend too much time on that.
That's fine. About I guess, disc formats that you've used?
Sure. So with by the way, we also have later got a PS1 and have games as far back as that. But we've what's shut it. They also, at the same time as the physical disc announcement, announced they were shutting down the PS3 and PlayStation Vita stores.
Yeah.
So we're not the only ones.
They did intend to do that earlier, but they backed off on it. But this time, it seems like they're not going to.
Yeah. So we weren't the only ones who were suddenly like panic buying some stuff. But anyway, with having something physical you can hold, I could buy this cheaply digitally.
For those who are listening, he's holding up the original Silent Hill on PS1.
Yeah, I could, but I like having Silent Hill, especially because I was able to get it at a good price,
Right.
relative to the rest of the secondhand market. So when the PS3 store shuts down, they cannot take this physical copy away from me.
Right. That's part of the nice thing about a physical copy of something is you can also you have a sense of ownership.
Yeah.
I own this, as opposed to I don't own. I'm long-term renting.
I guess while I'm on the Silent Hill train, there are also some Silent Hill games that, at least as of now, are not available digitally. And I want to say one of them was Silent Hill 3, at least at the time that I got this, just in case I get it wrong. But anyway, Silent Hill 3, and this also actually came with the soundtrack.
Okay.
So that's an extra bonus for having it physically. I get to pop the CD into a player.
Right.
Listen to that whenever I want. Anyway, this was really good for me to get physically at the time because there would have been no other way to play it apart from emulation, and I didn't feel comfortable trying to emulate it.
Okay.
There's also
I'm not against emulation. It's just I wouldn't be good at it.
There's also the HD collection, but that one's not the most ideal.
No, but at least it's something. It's at least a cheap way to play it. I would personally. I made a whole video about it. So.
Okay. Yes. How much you'd spent?
Yeah. So then with PS3, there are some releases that let you own. We have because it lets you own otherwise digital games physically.
Okay.
One big one was the Orange Box. This is not this has multiple Valve games on it. Specifically, it lists Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Half-Life 2 Episode 2, Portal, and Team Fortress 2. This is not the most up-to-date version of Team Fortress 2, because that's a continuously updated game, and eventually they stopped supporting the older versions on the console.
PS3 version is long out of date.
Yeah. But I get to own all 5 of those games physically.
Right.
And that's a huge plus for still holding on to this.
Also, I have every Ratchet and Clank game physically, but in North America, there was one game called Quest for Booty.
Keep it clean.
That is the actual name. It was the second part of the Future trilogy. That in North America, that was only released digitally. So eventually, I imported a European physical release just so I could have them all physically.
Yeah, it's another weird thing where sometimes a game is released physically in one region, but released digitally everywhere else.
Yeah, that's true with other types of media as well.
Yeah.
Although, yeah. They'll put something out, let's say in 3D in England, but not here.
Yeah.
So what else do you have?
We have a couple other titles in that vein.
Uh-huh.
One of them was on the PlayStation Vita, which was Sony's second handheld. It was kind of ill-fated because of the
Proprietary memory.
yes. Anyway, it was a dumb decision, I think. Anyway, In a similar vein to Quest for Booty, there was the Vita game Phineas and Ferb Day of Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah.
So when we were panic buying games, we noticed this on the Vita store. Like, it didn't show up on the PS3 store.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, then we aside from this, we had owned like every. When Paul and I really got into Phineas and Ferb, we bought up every physical Phineas and Ferb game we could find.
We bought a lot of DVDs too.
Yeah.
We have since all gotten into it.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but I didn't know about Day of Doofenshmirtz until I was looking for Vita games to panic buy. So then I looked it up and saw that there was a physical release. So we went out of our way to get a physical release before actually playing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you played it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and actually, that's another thing about these digital storefronts closing is that once the digital goes away, people are going to scoop up the physical because that'll be the only way to actually access them unless they sail the high seas.
And we're not necessarily
Condoning
condoning piracy,
that,
but
you know.
sometimes that's the only way you can get something.
Yeah.
Also in that vein, there was a Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series. There's a lesser-known Bandai Namco property called Klonoa, and the games are long out of print and can be very expensive secondhand.
Like hundreds of dollars if you wanted to own them.
Okay.
There's they for a 20th anniversary project, they released Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series, which is an updated re-release of the first two console games.
Okay.
But once again, in North America, it was only released digitally, so I went out of my way to get a physical European release.
Okay.
Another benefit to owning a game physically is that you can get it signed.
Yes.
Like this copy of Half Minute Hero, which, by the way, I really recommend this on PSP. Got it signed by Yusuke Kozaki, who is a character designer for this, and he was also a designer on No More Heroes.
Yes.
But we got him to sign Half Minute Hero.
Yeah, I want to say Distillery
Yeah.
was doing a thing where you have a digital signature somehow.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty much all digital
Yeah.
as a comic book, and somehow you could get it signed, which I was like, it hurt my head to think about, because it's
Yeah.
how do you sign a digital thing? But maybe they could imprint a fake signature on something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seemed weird.
We have some other
Okay.
items here. Now, as far as digital releases go, I have gotten my fair share of digital stuff, but only if that is the only way it's going to be released and there is no plan for it. But I'm not paying. I still pick my battles.
Right.
Like on console, I'm not necessarily going to pay for a physical disc of for a physical release of Grand Theft Auto 6 because it's just a code in a box. So what's the point?
Right.
And for some other games, I have outright refused to buy them just because they didn't have a physical. That's why I haven't played Doom: The Dark Ages, because it was actually going to just be the disc was a key, so I might as well just get it digitally.
Right.
So what's the point?
Sometimes, like, they released Moss Chapter 1 on the PlayStation VR, like, physically, but Chapter 2, which took a long time, Book 2, which took a long time, they only released that digitally, so for me, it was like, fine.
Anyway, where I was going with this was Alan Wake 2. It originally did not release physically, and when it was on PC, it was on the Epic Game Store, which is considered a lesser storefront to Steam. So I just didn't buy it. And then they later actually released it physically, and that's when I finally got it. You can see if you're watching, Jeeva Shrink Wrap, I haven't gotten around to it. I have other games like that. But the point is, now I can actually own Alan Wake 2.
You can play whatever you want to.
Yeah. And funny thing is, when Alan Wake 2 did release physically, sales skyrocketed. Because there was a demand for physical.
Yeah, there still is, I think.
Yeah. There are also some games that do get released physically through some boutique publisher or distributor. Like through Limited Run, I got Return of the Obra Dinn, and I really liked this game. So through the physical release, I actually played it, and I get to own it. I have a love-hate relationship with Limited Run, but for some things like that, it's like, I'll just do it, because they're the only one that has it.
If you're a Shantae fan, they kind of have you over a barrel.
Yeah. Similarly, they released the game Race the Sun, which Trevor and I had played on Congregate back when Congregate was good.
Yes.
And the browser-based like flash game thing. Anyway, so they released it physically in VR. We jumped at the chance because it's a cool game.
Right. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Now, as for there are some releases that we did end up getting where it is physical and you can access the game, but there's still some amount where you basically have to either download data one time, like 007 First Light, or you need to be online to access a lot of the game, like Hitman. I have the World of Assassination trilogy physically, despite how IOI handled that, because I really like Hitman. But I'm holding up Hitman 3 because this actually has data for all 3 entries on it. But as much as I really like this game, it does suck that you have to be connected online to access most of it.
Oh.
But again, I still really like this game. It's just that kind of sucks.
Right.
Also, even though there was a native PS5 release of Hitman 3, we opted for the PS4 version because that had native VR support.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
And we like having the option.
But one other gaming item, which is Scott the Woz has this whole video that I would recommend watching called Digital Only Physical Games.
Okay.
Where they will do everything to release something, but not print a disc. Case in point, the Fortnite Transformers pack. The one advantage to getting this was, even though the Transformers pack was at least temporarily taken off the store.
It was rotated out.
Yeah, it was rotated out. The code in here was still good, so you could still redeem the code. But then Scott the Woz put it, it's like, once you redeem the code, why do I own this?
As a reminder that you have the code.
It's like they'll print the whole thing, and they'll even do like this insert, but no disc.
Yeah, they have a place for a disc to go.
Yeah. Fortnite is an online game, so it'll probably be foolish to put it on a disc anyway, but you'll do everything, but no disc.
So normally a game comes out on disc, and it's how much? Depends, I know, on the platform as well.
It can depend on the platform, depend on the publisher. Full price, if that's what you mean, for the longest time was $60. With the PS5, Xbox Series generation, they upped it to $70. Now Grand Theft Auto 6, they were pushing that to $80, but it's like, really? You have to get the Ultimate Edition, which is $100? So really, it's $100?
but it's instead of a disc, it's just you quasi own it for $100.
Yeah.
they could decide that, oh, we have to take it down. Too bad.
Yeah.
Your copy is like ethereal.
So you're not saving anything by getting something digitally.
Not anymore. There was a brief window where there was actually a point in time where the digital version was cheaper than the physical, but then they decided, well, people will pay that same price anyway, right? So let's just do it.
Well, that's yeah.
A benefit to physical also is that the games can go on sale much more easily and frequently when it's physical. Like instead of paying, let's say, $80 for, I don't know, like let's trying to think of a random example off the top of my head. Well, let's say you get a copy, and this is hard.
Okay.
Well, I don't think I paid full price for Alan Wake 2.
Right. But I mean, you would think if they're saving, and I'm sure they've got it down to where it doesn't really cost that much, but they're making a disc. They have to employ people to all that's, they don't come already made. You have to make them. You have to put it together.
Yeah.
You have to make a box for it. You've got to ship it. You've got to put somebody on the shelves.
Yeah.
By going digital, they're not spending that money, but they're not passing the savings on to you. They're acting like they still have to do that.
Yeah.
Or they're charging you like they still have to do that.
Okay, I thought of an example.
Okay.
Watch Dogs Legion. By the way, the game's not that great, but I still got it because I played the first 2 Watch Dogs games. The second one's the best. Anyway, Watch Dogs Legion. When it came out, it was like $60 or $70. A few months later, $20.
Right.
So, or you could buy it digitally for that amount, like the full price, or you have to have some Ubisoft subscription service to actually access it, or you could just get it for like $20 or less now.
Right.
So
one of the advantages is really is a sense of ownership.
yeah,
Now so it costs pretty much the same as buying digitally.
yeah,
But then you actually have something that theoretically you could loan to somebody, you could sell,
yeah,
you could, I guess you could insure if something happened to it, get money for it. I bet with digital, it's like, oh, what did you own?
yeah,
So there are advantages. It does take up more room, but that's also you can also look at that as I own all these things.
Yeah.
As opposed to
yeah, like having something tangible.
tactile.
Yeah.
Yes. So now I know a big movement in music and film to everything should be streaming,
Yeah.
but not everybody wants that, and not everything is available. It's not like everything that got made is suddenly available.
Yeah.
So there are things that are only available physically; they're not available on a streamer.
Yeah.
Or if you want to watch it, oh, that's out of rotation. You can't watch it now.
Yeah.
But if you own it, you can watch it anytime you want to.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about other forms of media
Yeah.
besides games.
Yeah.
There's a one thing that fits with what you were just describing. Was King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah. Or Video Game Donkey had a whole video about like how splintered all these streaming services are, and it's like on HBO Max or something.
Yeah.
They have like every King Kong movie.
Every yeah.
Like every King Kong movie. Except King Kong versus Godzilla, you have to buy the Blu-ray to watch. And yeah, you can't, as far as last time I saw, you can't stream this, so you have to buy it physically.
Not that that's the greatest movie ever made.
No,
But
but we were doing this whole thing where we were watching similar
yes,
movies
Yes.
to the MonsterVerse.
right.
Not to be confused with Godzilla versus Kong.
Another example of something you cannot stream, I just checked before we started recording this, is the movie called Super Mario Brothers.
Not to be
which we wanted to watch before.
the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yes, they are not to be confused.
To say that.
Is there one better than
Yeah. Now, Super Mario Brothers is not the greatest.
Yeah. It's also one of the earliest video game movies.
Yeah. But if you want to actually have the option to watch it, you need to buy the DVD, which you have to do secondhand now. But we got the DVD, and now we can watch or rewatch this whenever we really want to.
Right.
If we really want to.
Yes.
Another thing with DVDs, in this case, the original King Kong, is that you can buy it. This is a steel book that came with not only the movie, 2-disc extras about the movie, but it also came with a copy of the original program they had when the movie was first premiered, because that was a big deal at the time, and it also had some other little, what do you call them,
Feelies. Yeah.
Related to the movie as well, so it kind of ups it this way. And you wouldn't really get that sense of tactile stuff if you just had a digital copy of it.
Yeah, actually, that's another advantage to like a physical version of something is if you really wanted to, there's like extra content on it, like the Power-Up edition for Super Mario Brothers or the Super Mario Brothers movie has like other interesting stuff on it, or there's I would say UHF. Has this really funny commentary that you have to watch it that way at least once.
Yeah.
So it's like insightful, but also like that's worth watching just entirely on its own.
Right.
And
Good.
and there are other like things you cannot stream even if you wanted to, like Rayman the animated series I have on VHS because at the time, like years and years ago, I could get it this way.
Right.
Like Ubisoft just sold this on VHS, so sure, why not?
Is it available any other way?
As far as I know, it's not outside of maybe a DVD,
Okay.
but you cannot stream this.
Right.
The DVD, if I remember, the DVD is French.
Yeah, so there's this.
And then there's weird stuff like Main Street Electrical Parade.
Yeah, on
I
VHS.
don't think you can actually stream that.
No, at least not if the mouse has this way.
Yeah, and a couple more things.
Yeah, so when a show is originally made for a streaming service, we try to
Like Netflix or...
yeah, we're one of those rare people who don't have Netflix apparently, so we often have to wait or pray for a physical, like then you have something like Castlevania where someone else, Viz in this case, has the home video rights, so we were able to get it physically and watch it that way.
Right.
So, like,
And we could also watch it at our own pace.
Right.
it's also because we don't have Netflix, we had to wait years to actually watch we had to wait a while to actually watch the anime adaptation of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6, and we'll probably end up having to do the same for Part 7.
Yeah.
Also, you can get sort of odd like collections. Like this is the Fleischer cartoons. I think this is Volume 1, the greatest hits. But I mean, you won't be able to stream this anywhere, as far as I know. So there are things that you can't. If you now maybe you're going, well, that's an old black and white thing. I don't want to watch it, but actually, you can learn a lot by watching, or have a lot of enjoyment watching black and white.
Yeah.
But you won't be able to stream this. And then the big thing right now is music.
Yeah.
I'm using this as an example.
Right.
But you would, if you stream this, you're going to get maybe one song or another. It's sort of like a mixtape that you don't control. You don't get to hear the whole album the way it was intended to be listened to.
Right.
You just get little bits and pieces of it. So the advantage of owning this is I can listen to it anytime I want to and listen to whatever. I can pick the song I want to listen to.
Yeah. I remember when we were kids, there was a whole classroom debate about like buying it since iTunes was newer.
Right.
There was a whole thing about like buying the physical CD versus buying it digitally on iTunes, and I think it ended up swaying towards like being able to get it, like buying it digitally because it's more convenient, and if you only like the one song, you can just buy the one song.
Yeah, I have done that.
Yeah.
If there's like one song I liked on something,
Yeah.
but at the same time too, if you buy I've noticed on Amazon, it's almost cheaper to buy the CD than to buy the MP3s.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. You can buy it cheaper. You can potentially buy it cheaper physically, and they might even also give you the digital version for free.
Right. Or you can make your own.
Yeah.
It's easy to burn these.
Yeah.
Or not burn, but
Yeah.
to take the songs off and have your own
Rip
MP3s.
it.
Rip
Yeah.
it, that's the word.
Yeah, you can also rip it, and hey, you have it.
And then there's things that only exist on cassette.
Yeah, like I brought this up before when we were talking about Record Store Day, but the No Life Till Leather demo from Metallica, they haven't really made this available physically any other way. That was because of an argument with Dave Mustaine.
Right, okay.
But in any case, I have the No Life Till Leather demo.
Right, or you could buy I'll say kind of a novelty, like this. This is obviously a real song, Real Love by the Beatles, but it's on cassette.
Yeah.
And I got that for the novelty of it being on cassette.
Yeah.
Haven't played it because I don't need to, but there's certain. It's fun to own odd things sometimes.
Yeah.
And to me, with streaming, everything is the same.
Yeah.
You don't have a different version than somebody else.
I will say with on the subject of music still, when it comes to something like an anime or a video game, in my head it's a high honor if I like the music so much I want a physical CD, and then if it doesn't have a physical CD, I am very disappointed. Like that's why I have a few video game soundtracks physically, like Undertale, Persona 5 specifically, Deltarune,
Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah, Devil May Cry 5, Shadow of the Colossus, or I have some anime soundtracks like Kaiji, or Death Note.
Yeah.
It's like, if I really like the music and I want to own it physically, I think the fact that I want to have it physically is a sign of how good it is.
Also, with physical media, if you have small children, you can control what they watch better.
Yeah.
The other thing is you can talk about, music on vinyl, which is actually making kind of a comeback. Now, this is an old Record Store Day. It's the closest thing to grab.
Right.
We have literally 1,000 of these, but this is the easiest one to get. But I don't know. Again, this is the only way to get this collection because it was Record Store Day. But there's a sort of kind of grounds you in a way, because that's how people listened to the music originally, was on vinyl, or they buy their own shellac. But I mean, you're sort of like they're better able to experience kind of how it was originally taken in by people if you're kind of listening on the same media they played.
Yeah.
It's like seeing a movie in a theater as opposed to on your television.
Yeah.
And also this cool thing that happened like somewhat recently. There was like there were a couple Transformers CDs that were made for BotCon, or made for a BotCon, but they since went out of print. Recently, someone was able to reprint those, so I got them when I could.
Right.
Yeah.
And I guess we should also talk about the fact that a lot of books are now being made available digitally.
Yeah.
Which again to me is a different experience. I like reading at night. You're not supposed to have a phone with you
Yeah.
when you do that. So having a physical book, all you need is light or sunlight. You're not running down a battery just to read a book.
You just need, you just need Spenny Arcade put at the awesome power of available light.
So we want to get, I guess, a little plug for physical books.
Yeah. So I'll just say with reading digitally, I do understand why some people do it. You can also, if you also have a service like Hoopla, it lets you digitally borrow something, so you don't have to worry about waiting for like if a library has it or doesn't have it. You don't have to worry about that. You also don't have to worry about where the book has been. But otherwise, I've gotten a lot more into reading, and recently kind of went back to I did go to the library a lot, but I recently went back to like actually buying certain things that I'm interested in. And all my interests keep each other in check. But anyway, so I got Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I was reading it this way through the small print paperback, and I like the tactile feel of it. I can like easily go back and look at certain things or take a picture of a passage I really like.
Right.
But I really liked the book, and I should say something if when I wasn't even past the first floor. I was looking online to see if it was possible to just buy the rest of them like all at once. Like, give me more.
Right.
The same thing happened to me when I read The Bad Guys for the first time.
Yeah, I think I should say something if a book, especially a physical book, motivated me to want to be like,
Yes.
like feed me.
Is there an adult to cart?
Yeah.
And since we're a comic book podcast, I thought I'd at least plug our own. We're coming out with our own third volume of a collection of our stories, and it will be available digitally, but it's really a lot of effort went into the print version to make sure it looked good. And always, I think it's more fun to read something and then be able to put it down instead of, I don't know.
Yeah, and actually, one thing that's good to me with having books like Dungeon Crawler Carl or other comics physically, is I don't, because of all the stuff that I do, I don't have the time necessarily to track all the digital stuff I might be reading, so having a physical thing that I have to stare at motivates me to...
Yeah, you kind of feel compelled to read it because you own it.
Yeah.
Not because it's on a phone somewhere that you got to turn on.
Yeah, and then I can
Or a
still...
Kindle reader.
And then I can still physically control the exact order I'm reading stuff in, and then if later I decide I don't want to own it anymore, I can sell it.
Yeah. Well, again,
reselling is another advantage.
If you want to read our books digitally, they're available, but I kind of like the idea of having, when I buy something, I want to get a physical copy of it.
Yeah. I will say, even though I was holding Dungeon Crawler Carl while I was saying all that doesn't mean I want to sell it this right.
Right.
Just, there's the option.
So part of the convenience of physical media is you can, for the most part, play it, watch it, read it anytime you want to.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I have to be on, the internet, or I have to hope it's being streamed.
Yeah.
So.
I don't want to completely crap on streaming, so I at least want to say we have occasionally seen a benefit from it.
Yeah.
Like, we're like on a movie night. We were watching Devil Wears Prada.
Uh-huh.
In preparation for Devil Wears Prada 2, as you do.
Yeah, and the DVD crapped out, so we were able to finish watching it through streaming.
Yes, yes.
We still prefer to watch something through a disc, but...
And we that night bought
the
Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So, we're dedicated to it.
But I just want to say, digital or streaming has its place, and I acknowledge that that's a better option for some people. But
right.
For most of what we consume, like read or watch or listen to, we prefer to own it physically.
And also, I think it's more of a benefit to whoever's actually putting it out.
Yeah.
An artist makes book is streaming, but they actually probably get a piece of the actual physical record or whatever that you put out.
Yeah.
They probably got a piece of this too. That keeps falling over.
Uh,
All right.
I'll also say, as far as like gaming is concerned, PC games at this point it is like 99% digital.
Right.
But PC Steam is probably like the best service, but there's service good old games or GOG. I say God. Anyway, the advantage to that is that is a digital storefront, but at least you actually own the copy that you buy.
Okay.
Yeah, the advantage is it's DRM free, and there are actually some titles on there that aren't on Steam. And then you also have other storefronts like itch.io, which allow for even more niche developers to release their game, and that's another way to support the developer. So you don't have to go through Steam, and that amount of competition on PC helps keep Steam honest and very consumer friendly, and so that's another reason Steam is overall the best service, but you at least have other options on PC if you game digitally. What's going to suck about PlayStation being all digital is the PlayStation Store, and they will have 100% full control over what you're able to play and how you're able to play it and how much you pay for it.
Right. So, the advantage of physical is
they can pry it from my cold dead hands.
Right. Anything else you want to guys say about the advantages of physical media besides access anytime you want to?
I think we pretty much covered it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So buy physical when you can and while you can.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So until next time, I'm David Hankins.
I'm Paul Hankins.
I'm Trevor Hankins.
And you've been on the air with Power Squared.